Royals baseball comes to you from downtown Detroit. It'll be another cold day at Comerica Park with rain in the forecast as the Royals are still looking for their first win of the season. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the ballpark with Rick Sudler. I'm Brian Lefevre. Well, last year was a disappointing season for the Royals because they did not make the playoffs, but there were some bright spots, and one of which is taking the mound today, and that would be Jacob Junis.
I'll say the team responded behind him. Not only was he cool, calm, and collected when he grabbed the rock his first time through as a young player, he looked like he was poised like a 10-year veteran. He led the team in wins. Heck, his ERA was fantastic. He really threw strikes down in the lower part of the zone that impressed a lot of people.
He'll be going up against Matthew Boyd, who has some ugly numbers against the Royals in his career, and we'll show you who leads the way when we come back.
The Royals have to be able to put up some numbers against this young Boyd. He's a left-hander, but if you go to the opposite field on him, as you see the highlights of Merrifield, Moustakas, look at him. You just take what he gives you. Don't try to do too much against him. You can get some runners on and get them in when you get the cookie. This is what we're looking forward to today. Ned Yost is, and we'll be back with first pitch in just a minute.
scores a 4-run fifth for the Tigers. It's Junis and Boyd. The lineups in the first pitch are coming up next. Missouri Lottery. Every ticket played gives back to Missouri schools, so play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. And by Chevrolet, the most awarded and fastest growing brand the last 4 years overall. Find yours at your Kansas City area Chevy dealers. Ryan Lefevre with Rex Hudler. Joel Goldberg is just outside the Royals dugout, along with Jeff Montgomery. Different today from yesterday in that there is no sunshine. Detroit is under complete overcast, and there was a lot of rain in the forecast. This game was certainly in jeopardy when we left yesterday afternoon, but so far all of that rain, and it's heavy rain, has stayed to the south. John Jay will be the designated hitter today. Chesler Cuthbert will be at first base, so Lucas Duda is out of the lineup. Jorge Soler is back in right, and Cam Gallagher will be back at the plate for Jacob Junis. Matthew Boyd, on one hand, his ERA last year was 5.27, but in his last 6 starts, it was 2.95.
You know, you're starting to figure out some things. It's amazing how this game will teach you a lot, but usually it happens later. There's so many guys who would like to have instant success. It just doesn't always happen. Fastball, changeup, curveball, slider. Generally, a pitcher has to establish a fastball, and then he works in his secondary pitches to get the hitter off balance. That's what it's all about. Boyd, he's not bad. Velocity averages about 92. His big out pitch is his curve. Defensively, look at that future Hall of Famer. He's a little bit sleeker, didn't lose a lot of weight, but it's just he lifted some weight, so he's a little bit heavier up top. Look at his shoulders. He's a little bit different. This guy can hit, man. He is unbelievable, a hitting machine. And he plays a decent first base. He'd surprise you.
Here's our crew chief, Tom Hallion. He'll be at third base today. Phil Cuzzy will call the balls and strikes. Dan Bellino is at first, and Adam Hammery is at second. John Jay opened the game with a walk yesterday. Otherwise, he was 0 for 3. And Matthew Boyd is in for a strike. The Royals last year had the lowest on-base percentage in the major leagues from their leadoff hitters. And now Jay rips it into right field. It's sinking, and Castellanos makes the play. And even with that out, John Jay, when he has led off an inning for the Royals this year, has gotten on base 4 of 8 times.
Some bad luck right there. Look at his teammates. They're saying, hang with him. He's saying, I can't hit that ball any better. Now, if he'd have got on top 1/8 of an inch, that would have sunk in front of Castellanos and would have been a knock.
Witt was 1 for 4 yesterday. And we showed you his success against Matthew Boyd in the past. And not just Boyd. You put Whit Merrifield in the batter's box against the Detroit Tigers, and he becomes a .353 hitter.
And one of the reasons he sustains that type of success with his average is he stays in the middle of the field and he goes the opposite way, just like that swing. He's not a pull happy guy. A lot of guys facing a lefty, the balls are breaking into you, love to pull the ball. But he's a different type of hitter when it comes to facing lefties. Look at those averages. It's nice against the Tigers. Bottom hand first, top hand follows.
Pitch was up. Now Castellanos fades back. So 2 lineouts to right for the Royals against Matthew Boyd. And now another Royal who's done well against Boyd in the past, Mike Moustakas. He was 0 for 4 yesterday.
Well, maybe Moose will have a little bit better luck, because Jay and Merrifield, you can't do anything better except get it down or get it up. They would have had extra bases. Square that ball up to the opposite field.
Fastball at 92, and it's 1-1. No swing. 2-1.
Fastball, curveball, slider. Those are the pitches that Boyd throws to the lefties more often. There's one that stayed in. Wouldn't you know it? No luck first time through for the Royals.
3 hard hit balls. And 3 up, 3 down. Jacob Junis will make his season debut today against the Tigers. Manager and win number 1,069 in his career. One change from yesterday. Jose Iglesias will be his shortstop instead of Nico Goodrum.
So it'll be Martin, Candelario, and Cabrera against Jacob Junis. Good spot. 0-1 on Martin.
It's a great pitch for your first one of the year. 88 on the black. Look how smooth his delivery is. You see some numbers there? Pretty impressive. He's going to strike you out. Oh, look at that. 2 pitches down in the zone. Stay right there. Fastball, slider, change curve. Fastball, get established. Slider, finish him off. That's his best strikeout pitch. It's a beauty.
Three pitches, down he goes, and that fastball was tailing away from Martin. One away.
Junis not wasting any time. That's one of the things they like about him. His tempo, how he goes after hitters. There's Paulo Orlando. Check him out. He's got all of his winter gear on. Why not? Because that breeze will freeze your earlobes, believe it. So put that thing on your head, go out and run the ball down. He told me today he has no fear of crashing into the wall at 420 right in back of him. That's sponsored by Ford. Around the horn. They got a great F-150.
1-0 on Candelario. And now he hits it to first. Cuthbert is there, and he's right at the bag. And there are 2 down. Lucas Duda not quite ready to get back into the lineup today. And Ned Yost had said that he was even thinking about using Duda as the DH. And when the Royals signed Mike Moustakas, one of the ways to get Cheslor Cuthbert more at bats this year was that he was going to play more first base.
Yeah, so you know what? Cuthbert's saying, look, it's just a game of catch. Okay, there's a few different alignments. You have to line yourself up with cutoffs when it comes to being the relay man at home. But, you know, look, that's what, keep it simple. It's a game of catch.
One and one on Miguel Cabrera. He drove in one of the Tigers' runs yesterday. He also scored a run. Little bit inside. Last year, the Royals were 11-5 when Jacob Junis was the starting pitcher. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And he was the go-to guy when the Royals needed to end a losing streak. Arcia drive to success. When Junis pitched following a Royals loss, he was 6-2 and his ERA was 3.69.
That's right. That's the key right there after Royals losses. So that can't be any better than towing the slab today. Get him on the board. There's a nice little ground ball. That's what Junis does.
So the Tigers go down in order, and no score at the end of 1.
Joel Goldberg down by the Royals dugout. And the news in general good on Dudas, as head trainer Nick Kenny telling me in our University of Kansas Health System injury report that Lucas no worse than he was yesterday. Ended up with that hamstring injury running to first base. Felt it a little bit on some other swings and jumping for that ball on the catch that he made. But it happened on that run to first. They want to just be cautious over the next 3 to 5 days. He might even be able to pinch hit at this point, but they want to be careful with this thing. He took some swings, or at least told me he was going to, guys, this morning. And as for when it happened, I asked Lucas initially, it wasn't on the jump, and he said, what jump? I said, you had some hops. He said, I barely got off the ground. Nothing that I do looks pretty. And then Hud, I said to him, well, what about, that's going to fall in. What about the home run? I got lucky.
Chesler literally threw the bat at the ball. That is a figure of speech for a hitter. Throw the bat at the ball. And Chesler took it literally and ends up with a double.
Well, he took a page from the first 3 hitters before him. They all hit the ball on the nose, squared it up, and guess what? They were out. So why not pull out the doinker? Yeah, and he turns it into a double. Excellent job of reading. He knew Miguel Cabrera and the touch on that ball was going to kick and roll, and he didn't have the skills to throw him out. That's heads up right there. Got himself a double. Now let's see if they can manufacture a run here. And, you know, I realize the Royals have taken the lead early in games. Now, that's a little bit overrated, obviously, so far. They're looking for a W any way they can get it, but you like their chances when they score first.
Two 2-0 on Paulo. Matthew Boyd has had a lot of trouble pitching with runners in scoring position. Our Toyota League leaders since the beginning of 2016. He has the highest opponent's batting average with runners in scoring position. And now Paulo drives it to right center field. Martin makes the catch. Cuthbert to third, and the throw is offline, so Paulo gets the job done. He gets Cuthbert over to third with 1 out. And maybe you noticed on that Toyota League leaders that Boyd was at the top, and the next 2 guys were also Tigers pitchers. So that's been like a virus with the Tigers pitching staff, getting outs with runners in scoring position.
I love our teammates in the truck. They put that graphic, that stat out there just in time. But I love Paulo Orlando making that happen. Notice how he stayed inside of the ball and drove the ball to the right side to get the runner over. That is proper.
Tigers will bring the infield in halfway against Soler with a runner at third. And Boyd got the call. Soler was 0 for 3 with a walk yesterday.
Okay, they're all spread out evenly in that infield, but the infield's in. Focus up the middle.
McCann just saved a run, 1-1.
When you have that focus of trying to keep the ball and guide it up the middle, your hands will naturally react on a ball that's inside or even away. You'll have better reaction time, but that's where your focus has to be. So they get him on, get him over, get him in.
Did not get that call. 2-1. Two balls, 2 strikes on Soler.
Okay, that's what Boyd wants to do to Soler. He wants him to reach. He wants a big guy like that, has a reputation of being strong on any pitches, middle of the plate and in. He wants you to reach, so he's going to try to keep the breaking ball changeup on the outer half. Changeup's a premium pitch to a right-handed batter because it has a little fade away from the hitter. A little bit more difficult to hit a ball going away than it is coming in.
McCann really wants Boyd to throw a changeup. The last 3 pitches, the first sign he has put down has been changeup, and every time Boyd has said, no, not that.
It's because sometimes you speed a guy's bat up if you don't locate it, like that one there. That was a changeup. That's why he didn't want to throw it. Nice job. He had to reach. Remember, I told you he wanted Soler to reach on the outer half of the plate, and he got him an off-speed pitch, and he was able to do the job. Well done. Good execution here by the Royals in the second inning. See that changeup? Good location, great spot, but see the grip he's got? That's the changeup grip. He's going to speed his bat up and fall right into it. Bam, right on the meat. And he was off balance, but that was an excellent sac fly, and look at the love in that dugout.
So Soler gets his first RBI of the year. Now Alex Gordon with 2 outs and nobody on. And that's what Boyd wanted when Soler was at the plate. The hitter reaching and a fly ball shallow to the outfield, but 1 batter too late. Cuthbert gets on, Orlando gets him to third, and Soler gets him home. Fly. Build for Baseball presented by T-Mobile, the best network for streaming baseball, because your stadium should be where you make it. Jacob Junis had a quick 1-2-3 first inning. And now fastball right on target to Castellanos, who scored twice and drove in a run yesterday. One and one on Castellanos. He is 7 out of 17 to begin this season after a career year last year, and that's a great spot with a fastball. Castellanos had career highs in games, runs, hits, doubles, triples, home runs, and RBIs last year.
Now, at his age, I'm going to tell you he's going to have a better season than that even. But that's how, you know, he's already got 4 years in, and that's what he does right there. He goes to the opposite field well. Be careful down there. That ball's sailing. There's a slight breeze, almost like it was yesterday. Not a heavy breeze blowing in, but that will affect balls down that right field line. But Castellanos really going to have a nice future ahead of him the way he can control the field with his bat. And he's learning right field.
Speaking of right field, he had the 7th most opposite field home runs in the major leagues last year. You know, he kind of went old school a couple of years ago, and every hitter prepares differently. But 2 years ago, he was on his way to a career season, and he got hurt. And then he did have a career season last year. And at the beginning of 2016, he decided he was going to look at less video and just rely more on his natural instincts at the plate.
I think it's a great idea. Exactly. More players should do that. So many times they get wrapped up in all of the new metrics, all of the launch angle, the hit speed, where am I doing this? You know, I'm going to go watch myself. You know what? Forget that. Use what's natural, what comes natural to you. Hand-eye coordination is the most extremely important thing that you can do as a hitter. Watch video of the pitcher. That's what you do. You watch the pitcher, see what kind of tendencies he has. And look at Junis. He is looking fantastic. There's the slider again. He doesn't show that pitch to him early in the count. He likes to use this two-seam sinker with a quick tempo to catch him off guard, and then he finishes him off. Looked like that might have been a heater at 92. Heck, look at the movement on that thing. It almost looked like a slider to move it down like that. But that's the action he gets on his two-seamer. It's a beauty. Don't you love his tempo? He gets the ball and he's real smooth. His delivery's quick. He kind of rushes the hitter just with his delivery.
He's not as polished, obviously, as Corey Kluber, but when Jacob got to the big leagues and I watched him, I remember thinking, he just reminds me somebody with his demeanor and just how calm he is, how focused he is on the catcher. He doesn't wander around the mound. He doesn't take a lot of time in between pitches. Victor Martinez gets jammed and drops it into center field. So 1 on, 1 out. And then later in the season, I asked Junis, is there a pitcher that you like to watch or emulate? And he said Corey Kluber. And he had never heard of Corey Kluber before he was a professional pitcher, but Lonnie Goldberg, a former 27th round pick. Lonnie Goldberg, the Royals scouting director, when he signed Jacob Junis in the 29th round, said, you remind me of Corey Kluber. Junis had never heard of him before, but he was curious, so he started watching Kluber and began to model himself after Corey Kluber.
Wow, interesting.
McCann pops it up, and Cuthbert makes a play in foul territory. And like a lot of young pitchers, the game speeds up when they get to the big leagues for the first time, and in his first 4 outings is having some difficulty with walks. He had more walks than strikeouts and throwing almost 20 pitches per inning, which is a lot, but he settled in pretty quickly, and in his last 16 he had a great strikeout to walk ratio and was averaging about 15 pitches per inning.
Yeah, what you said is extremely important. The game speeds up on you, and that is a true statement, and especially for young players that haven't been here before get in awe of the bright lights, the showtime, the cameras, the big crowds, and it takes them out of their rhythm. And in order to have sustained success and long-lasting success in the big leagues, you have to control that. One of the reasons why some players spend a lot of time in the minor leagues, they can't slow it down. They get too excited. Their heart rate gets up and they can't control themselves. That's important that Junis learned it. Once he did, look what happened to his game. His game, it really worked.
He's got a wicked two-seamer today. We talk so much about his slider. It's 1 and 2 on Matuk, and I'm sure that's what the Tigers were thinking about before the game today, his slider. But man, his two-seamer is world-class today.
No question about it.
Little abbreviated swing, and Merrifield goes way out from second base to make the play on Mikey Matuk. So 1 hit, 1 left, and at the end of 2 in Detroit, the Royals lead 1-0.
exclusive Municipal Stadium replica giveaway on Saturday, April 14th, presented by Price Chopper and Pepsi. The first 20,000 fans through the gates will receive the item before the Royals take on the Angels at 6:15. Be there, get you one.
Alcides Escobar, Cam Gallagher, and John Jay are coming up. The Royals scored in the second inning. Cheslor Cuthbert doubled. Paulo Orlando got him to third, and Jorge Soler got him home with a sacrifice fly. And now it's 1-1 on Esky. He got his first 2 hits of the season yesterday, a double and a triple. And his triple was worth $1,000 to the KC Urban Youth Academy. Kansas City Honda dealers will make a $1,000 donation every time the Royals hit a triple.
Yeah, I was talking to Esky today about that, about his line-to-line double and triple. And he said, just like he did, stay in the middle of the field with your approach. Wow. That ball almost knocked Martin down. So right there, just a couple of big hits like that, one to the pole, one to the opposite field yesterday. Today comes right out with a short, compact swing. Oh, man, that went off his wrist and his lips. Be careful. But you know, the cold is really difficult for players, but it also is not good for the ground. The ground is really hard. You saw the bat hop it took in the outfield. Watch your lips out there.
Cam Gallagher bats for the first time. He played 13 games for the Royals last year with 1 home run. That was a grand slam. And he is very familiar with Jacob Junis. So today was a good day to get Cam in the lineup.
He was a little nervous before the game. I saw him come out of the dugout and I said, are you in there today? He goes, yeah. He goes, we got to get this game in because he wants to start. You know, if something happens and the weather washes out a game, sometimes that'll wash out a start for you. So, you know, he's like excited to be in there. And he said the thing that he wants most is to not be noticed at all behind the plate.
1-2.
If he's doing his job behind the plate, he's catching Junis, you know, he's just like in his little rocking chair sitting there, putting the ball, putting the plate, the target right where he wants it there. That's all he wants to do. Line it up.
A slide step move to first.
Side armor to first. You don't see that.
Still 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Good first swing, Cam. Good short, compact. He was trying to hit that in the hole over there between the first and second baseman.
Breaking ball stayed out over the plate. And Martin backs up in center field. Escobar is back to tag, but didn't have enough time to get back and advance to second base. 1 out.
Martin, the center fielder, he showed on the throw he threw to third base to try to nail Cuthbert. He's got a good throwing arm. So Escobar did the right thing by staying there. Good at bat by Cam. He hit the ball hard.
John Jay line to right in his first at bat. Sliders in for strike 1. His on base percentage, even with that line out, when he's leading off an inning, is .500. No balls, 2 strikes. That to me is the on base percentage I like to look at. I mean, the overall on base percentage is interesting to see how often a guy's getting on base, but it's most important when you're leading off an inning, and that applies to everybody. I mean, you could be a number 4 hitter, you could be a number 7 hitter. Well, what's your on-base percentage when you're starting an inning? Do you know how to get on base and get an inning going?
Catalyst. What kind of player are you? Do you have to know that? That's important. Know what kind of guy you are. Jay knows it.
Boyd had him reaching, and Iglesias wants it out in shallow left field. So Escobar, with that leadoff single, is still standing at first with 2 down.
And one of the reasons why Dayton Moore went out and acquired him. Knowing that they needed a real leadoff hitter, he was available, they got him. Well, they're doing their job to fit the pieces that Ned needs here to do the best they can. It's only a matter of time. Baseball is a game, obviously, people know of. It's a long haul. It's 162. It's not just a week. It takes time to figure.
Witt lined out to Castellanos in right field in the first inning. Breaking ball is low for ball 1.
See Whitley messing with his cheeks and his eyes. We talked about how hard it is in the cold with the slight breeze blowing. Your eyes dry out and it's hard to, you're blinking up there, and you don't want to blink when you're trying to hit a fastball at 92. Especially when it comes up around your noggin. Got to be able to get out of the way. Last time up, he blistered a fastball to right field, right to Castellanos.
Reno with Moustakas on deck. Mike Jershely just stuck out his right index finger, which is the universal sign telling the hitter to take a pitch. Got the call, 3-1. And now over the inside. So Boyd gets back in the count, and now with a full count, Miguel Cabrera will back up over at first base, and Escobar will be running.
Yeah, Merrifield, he's not afraid to hit with 2 strikes. I like that. Milk him, take the pitches. Now, you know, if he comes anywhere close, put it in, play hard. Especially with the runner going, 3-2, 2 outs. He'll be going. You have a chance to score him with a well-placed ball.
There's a lot of foul territory here, and Castellanos can't quite get to it, and it bounces over that big screen up the right field line. And we'll do it again. And Cabrera's having fun with some fans over there. Last year, that same throw would have made it into the crowd, but as we showed you yesterday, Detroit has taken protecting the fans to another level. Their screens extend beyond the dugouts and almost all the way down to the foul poles. Good for them.
I think so too. Ownership here probably says, you know what, we don't want to even see any fans get hurt by a foul ball, so we're going to do it. Ball's not going too far in the air here today. Good drive.
19 brings it down. So a leadoff single. Boyd works around that. The Royals lead 1-0. Junis goes back to work in the bottom of the third.
Jacob Junis knows how important defense is. Watch Whitley. Let him get on his horse here. I mean, you got to be at top speed in no time at all to catch that ball. That's right. He feathered it in just like catching a pass in the end zone for a touchdown. That was beautiful. Matuk, he took a little abbreviated hack, tried to doink one in there, and Whitley said, not on my guy. Yeah. Whitley, nice athlete.
Now it's Paulo Orlando coming up in center field. 2 pitches and 1 out for Junis in the third inning. He appears to have all of his pitches working early here today.
Okay, now remember that play we just saw Whitley run after. We showed you his foot speed and all that. There was not a word said between the other outfielders, because the minute Whitley hears an outfielder in his voice, he backs off because they have priority. So there was nothing said. That tells Whitley it's his ball, if that makes sense. Nothing being said, just keep going. That's your ball all the way. That's how you keep from major collisions in an outfield. Outfield has priority. Center fielder over the corner outfielders, other outfielders got it. Now here it is again. Okay, Whitley's telling himself this is mine all the way until he heard Paulo. Paulo called. He said, I got it, I got it. He backed off.
Center fielder has priority over everyone on the field.
And in the stands. That's why it's fun playing out there. You have nothing to restrict your left, right, in, back movement. You got it all. And Paulo was telling me he's excited to play center field today for Junis.
Number 9 hitter Machado is on with a 1-out walk, because the infielders have priority over the pitcher, the catcher on a pop-up, correct?
That's correct.
The outfielders have priority over the infielders, and the center fielder has priority over the left and right fielder. So therefore, the center fielder is the king of the diamond.
He is the true quarterback. We like to talk about the catcher being the quarterback.
Let's use king.
Yeah, okay,
He's the king.
He is the king. He's the king, and any center fielder will tell you how much fun they love it. They have fun out there. Now that's the quarterback, because he's calling the cadence. The cadence is the signs. Okay, and the pitcher and catcher combination is over 90% of the game. That's why before the game they study. They sit down, they go over each hitter that they're going to face. They're saying, okay, here's what we're going to do with this guy, this is what we're going to do here. And therefore he's quarterback, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, that's good, but the center fielder's the king. Let's get that.
I know.
Let's make that clear right now.
I totally agree with that.
And a good center fielder, if he's paying attention, also has the advantage of looking past the pitcher to the catcher. He can see location better. Sometimes an infielder will pick up the sign from the catcher, and they'll have some sort of signal to the outfield to say whether a fastball or off speed is coming.
But baseball players' vision is they have the best vision of any athlete. Now I'm just going to tell you, from having to pick up and focus the baseball, and what the doctors and nurses tell me when I was a player, when they give the tests every year, they do all the sports. They said baseball players have the best vision of all of them because they got to pick up that ball. Now center fielders sometimes can see the sign on their own. The catcher giving the signs, you can see it from center field. You see how many fingers they're putting down, you can see it, so you don't really need the shortstop or second baseman to give them the sign behind their back. But it helps if you know, because if you can get a jump one side to the other, breaking ball, the guy's tendency is to pull it. Fastball, he's going to hit it the other way. It really helps make the out for the pitcher.
At a play, 1-2 on Martin. Junis threw 3 strikes and struck out Martin to begin the bottom of the first inning. Nothing fancy about that. He just went right after him. And he struck him out again. That's 3 for Junis, and there are 2 outs in the 3rd inning.
Solid again. Now there's the changeup again. That looks like his 2-seam sinker, but it's less miles per hour. About 9 to 10 miles per hour difference. That's the difference it takes to get him off balance. I tell you, Wade Junis is hitting his spots and changing speeds. He is looking really good. They need to get him some runs, get him more runs than that, so he can settle in and just continue to mow the Tigers down.
It has just started to rain, so some fans are making their way up the steps, but it's a light rain. There is very heavy rain, and a lot of it south of Detroit, and the weather is literally moving from west to east. It's not moving in any northern or southern angle at all, and so far that band of storms has just stayed south. The forecast after the game yesterday was bleak, and many of us wondered if the game was going to be called even before the buses left the hotel. But the northern Midwest weather this time of year can be very unpredictable, and that Michigan fan having some trouble with that umbrella. He's had a tough 24 hours watching his beloved Wolverines in the national championship game last night. You know, he should just turn that thing upside down.
Yeah, he's getting frustrated now, but you know what? His umbrella's unpredictable. There you go. Look at Junis coming right back in there. But regardless, Ron Gardenhire in his office today was telling me that they might have to start the game in the rain, but if they did, they were going to do the best they can to play the game today. There's issues there. He's got problems.
That's got the stadium logo on it. That was a giveaway umbrella. I sure hope they're not showing that guy on the Tiger broadcast. And then promoting Umbrella Day coming up later in the year. Hey, well, come on out and get yourself a nice Comerica Park umbrella.
Yeah. When does he trash it? See how frustrated he gets. He's about ready to give up on it.
Well, his date.
Watch out. Watch your eyes now.
Yep.
You get poked in the eye.
3 balls and 2 strikes on Candelaria. There we go. Yeah, he worked on that thing for 5 minutes. She gets up, and in about 10 seconds, it's back in working order. Now, that's his daughter. Come on, Dad, you're embarrassing me. Off the end of the bat, but Candelario gets it through the middle. Machado will go to third. He'll be held there. And that means Miguel Cabrera gets a chance to come to the plate with 2 on and 2 out.
You always want to see a hitter like Cabrera come up leading off an inning. But this is a good pitch to hit. It's 3-2. He's going to give him something, so he found a hole. Dixon Machado, he can just trot on third base. Now Junis hopes that he can get the future Hall of Famer to hit it at somebody.
Junis got Cabrera to ground out to short in the first inning. Sliders in for strike 1.
Cabrera, he's so good at any type of pitch, fastball, slider, curve, change, any of them. If you throw him enough of one pitch, he'll register that in his brain, and his eyes will tell his hands exactly what to do. Now that's 2 breaking balls in a row. We'll see if Junis maybe throws him a 2-seam fastball in on his hands, or maybe something else, but you got to try to trick him.
Same pitch, 2 different locations. Cabrera was probably thinking like you, there's no way he's going to throw me 3 in a row, and he did.
Junis, fantastic. That was a Hall of Fame pitch.
fan of the game. Father and daughter enjoying the game today. And if you weren't with us last half inning, Dad's umbrella got inside out, and after fussing with it for 5 or 10 minutes, his daughter came over and fixed it, and the timing was right because it just started raining here at Comerica Park.
So
now they're bundled up watching the Royals lead 1-0.
You're going to give her the fan of the game, not him.
No.
He was getting frustrated. She came in, calmed things, and straightened out his umbrella, and now look at him. Happy. Okay, Rhino, you do a lot to comfort me. At times I need you up here in the booth, but man, you just really showed me some nice weather that looked like, the rain that was there, looked like there was a small cell passing. There's nothing major behind it, so we might be able to continue to play this game.
1-2 on Moustakas. At least according to my phone and my weather app, that this is not part of that larger storm that's south of Detroit. It's a small light rain cell passing through Detroit. And if you were unprepared, just go get a garbage bag from one of the concession stands and that'll work.
That's right.
Fouled away by Moustakas. The pitch before that, Boyd thought he had struck out Moustakas, and he was walking off the third base side of the mound expecting a called third strike, with which he did not get from the home plate umpire Phil Cuzzy. So in his mind, this at bat is over, and these are bonus pitches for Moustakas. 3-2.
Okay, Moose, he hit the ball hard last time up on a breaking ball right to Cabrera at first base. You can see how heavy they are over here. They want him to hit the ball there on the ground. Anything in the air has a chance to leave here.
Still 3-2. Almost got it over the bag and up the left field line.
What a great idea. I've already seen a couple of batters bunting against the pulled over shift from left-handed bats, and that's a great idea. Now Moose, on that pitch there, he was trying to do that. Almost got himself a nice double. Good idea. See how he regroups now? He ran halfway down the line, but he didn't go hard because he didn't know it was just going to be fair, but he's able to get his breath. Steps out, catches his breath. Breath and breathing is very important in everything we do, but especially in baseball for focus. You got to have it. Too bad. Missed it.
Cabrera has it in front of the Royals dugout. 1 down.
Royals fans, it's not too late to become a 2018 season ticket member. Choose from several packages tailored to fit your busy schedule. All season ticket members will receive an exclusive Salvador Perez bobblehead, along with tons of other benefits. Visit Royals.com/STM for more details.
Ball 1 on Cuthbert, who literally threw his bat at the ball in the second inning and got a bloop double up the right field line. The bat ended up over in front of the third base dugout. And then Paulo Orlando's fly out to center got Cuthbert to third, and Jorge Soler's sacrifice fly got him home. Chesler's getting some time at first base today with Lucas Duda out of the lineup.
I've been impressed with the at-bats the Royals are having today. Offensively, I don't think there's any worries. They're hitting the ball hard. Boyd's not tricking any of them. They don't look like they're being baffled. They're making contact. They're just missing some line drives. That's a just missed ball there.
2 outs in the 4th inning. Boyd made his Tigers debut against the Royals 3 years ago, and he was part of a big trade in 2015. The Blue Jays were trying to improve their rotation, just as the Royals had improved theirs by getting Johnny Cueto. The Blue Jays went out and they got David Price from the Tigers, and two of the Blue Jays' best pitching prospects came to Detroit. Daniel Norris and Matthew Boyd. Boyd had pitched a little bit in the big leagues with the Blue Jays, but his Tigers debut was against the Royals in August, and he pitched very well. He gave up just 1 run in 7 innings, but since then he's had a terrible time against the Royals. 1 ball and 1 strike. So 1 run in 7 innings in his first game against the Royals, but since then in 8 starts his ERA is over 9. Paulo got jammed, and now Boyd's starting to get a lot of outs in the air. Iglesias makes the play. 3 up, 3 down. The Royals lead 1-0 at the end of 3.5. He has all of his pitches working.
Absolutely does. But I can tell you what's working the best for him is that fastball, and it's a good one. It's got 2-seam bite, heavy sinking action, and there it is. Almost 70% heaters. That's right, but it's not straight. If it's a straight heater, the hitter will let you know he'll be hitting that ball all over the place. But because it's got that great sinking action, it's been tough today. Very tough for hitters to hit.
And a slider is ripped to Moustakas, who got a glove on it and then throws in the dirt, and Cuthbert isn't able to dig it out. And Castellanos is on to begin the bottom of the 4th.
Hot shot to Moose. Did a nice job on the rebound to stab it with his bare hand. Don't ever, ever try to pick up the ball if you're an infielder or an outfielder with your glove. Pick it up barehandedly just like Moose does here. Gives it a chance to make the play. Tough throw, rushes it a little bit. Cuthbert, you can see Chesler there, just miss picking it. Looked like he had a little bit too much forward movement with his glove instead of just letting his glove stay there and let the ball land in it. He'll learn. It's not easy.
It is ruled an error on Moustakas.
It takes time to learn how to dig a ball over there when you're not constantly over there in game.
Victor Martinez lines it up the left field line, and Alex is there. And Castellanos is back to first. Victor Martinez is 1 for 2. Getting back to Junas's fastball. That, I think, is going to be a really important pitch for him this year, because even though his slider is really good, I think the league knows how good his slider is. And unless you have a cutter like Mariano Rivera, you have to have more than one pitch at this level. And good big league hitters, if he throws that slider enough, they're going to find a way to make an adjustment And if he has that two-seam fastball to go with that slider this year, he's going to be in good shape.
I totally agree with you. See how he's on top of the baseball with the two seams. He releases it. It catches the air pocket. It moves away. That's good. That's off the barrel. And well defended by Alex Gordon at left.
Just enough movement there to get it off the end of the bat and away from the fat part of the bat.
Exactly. Pitchers call that missing bats. Now, it didn't miss the bat, but it missed the barrel. Barrel's where you want to stay away from. That's where the damage is done.
Two and one on McCann. And the Royals overshift on him. He fouled out to Cuthbert at first in the second inning.
And the way that these shifts are designed is from previous at-bats from McCann against the Royals. Now, and what he's done on their spray charts, they keep record of all of that. And so that's how they design the game plan. And for the infielders, it's Mike Jershely who will tell them before the game where we're playing certain guys. Usually it's one meeting before the series. And then he'll direct the traffic.
A diving catch by Merrifield and a double play.
That was awesome. Whitley hits a miracle. It's stuck in his glove. What a heck of a play that ball. And McCann, he's snake bitten. He's not happy. Look at this. What? Get to his feet, throw a dart over there to get him? Junis is living right.
Behind him today. Both have involved Whit Merrifield.
Can't tell you the degree of difficulty behind this. Now, first of all, keep it in your glove. That's one thing. You see the second base umpire saying out, and there's another out at first base. Oh, Junis is like, oh, what a great job of saving my pitch count. Look at that. Now he's got to keep that ball off the dirt. Gets to his feet, flips it over there. And I watched McCann, and that's a big hang with him. He dropped his head and said, man, he just stole a base hit from me. Oh, and talking about base hit being stole, there's one there.
Soler drove in the Royals run with a sac fly in the second inning, so he is 0 for 1.
Candelario just stole a double from him. That was extra bases.
The Royals would like to thank all teachers for their hard work during the school year by honoring them on Thursday, April 26th. Teachers, purchase your theme ticket at royals.com/theme tickets to receive a free t-shirt to show your Royal pride, whether you're at school or at Kauffman Stadium. Thursday, April 26th, the Chicago White Sox will be at Kauffman Stadium. 1-1 on Alex. He flied out to left field in the second inning.
Liked him squaring around though that first time up. He had bunt in mind. Had that pitch not been up, he might have just dropped it down.
And that will be up into the netting. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Alex, 2 for 11 coming into this game, making some effort to swing the bat to left field. He's waiting until the ball travels deep. He's hit a few nice balls out there. They've been caught, but I like to see the effort he's making to go to the opposite field. Get him away from rolling over to the right side. The bunt attempt tells me that he's thinking about that, wants to get on base, and that's kind of how you get going. Just, you see how they play him over there to pull? And he's consciously thinking, especially on a breaking ball that's moving away from you, just slap it down that line there. With especially in now 3-2, that's more of a driver's count, but let's see what he does.
Up into the raindrops, and Martin glides over into left center field. And Boyd has suddenly set down 11 of the last 12.
How about Escobar? Okay, that's his first base hit of the year. He'll take that. Oh man, when you can get the first, it's a beauty. Now the second, oh, that's sliced down the line for a triple. That was beautiful, line to line. And then today, why not anywhere in the middle? Biggest hole in the diamond. Stay with it, Esky.
He was down in the count 1-2 when he singled to right center in the third inning. And that's the Royals' only hit since they scored their run in the second.
Well, you had to realize that when this game started, like yesterday, it wasn't going to be a high-scoring affair because obviously it's not great hitting conditions.
Boyd strikes out his first, and now he has set down 12 of the last 13. The Royals lead 1-0. Season. Membership includes a Blue Crew jersey, a flat bill snap back cap, a drawstring bag, 2 compression sleeves, 2 home game ticket vouchers, and more for just $30. Sign them up right now at Royals.com/Blue Crew. And that's right, Hud, a flat bill snap back cap.
Yeah, you read it much better than I did, and that's not easy.
To read better than you can?
No, to read that That one right there
Oh,
was
okay.
tough, but no, anybody could read better than I can.
Fastball right by Mikey Matuk. It's 0-2. He popped out to shallow right center field in the second inning, and Whit Merrifield ran out from second base to make the play. Junis will get the lower third of the order.
Oops. Might have to come out and do a little work on that slab. That slab's rubber, and you know, sometimes you'll slip off there. He's just said, "My bad, I'm sorry," but you know what? That might help him. Alert the ground screw. Come out there and use that little cleaner to clean the spikes. But you know, and you see, there's not a big hole in front of the slab. A lot of guys, you know, you don't push off of the rubber. That's your starting point. Your balance is so good, you don't need to push off the rubber. Great pitch. Way to finish with the slider. Okay, remember, 54 of his 80 total strikeouts last season, that's 68% was on that pitch there. So look, if you're a hitter and you got 2 strikes on you, be careful. That's a whiff pitch. That's a beauty.
So that's 5 for Junis. This is Jose Iglesias with 1 out. He flied out to center field in the 3rd inning. Iglesias was on the Tigers bench yesterday. Nico Goodrum played it short. Should be easy for Alex. And it is. 2 outs. And now Junis will get Dixon Machado. He walked in the 3rd inning, and that's the only walk allowed by Junis.
You know, in order to get the good 2-seam sink to a fastball, here's what you got to do. Watch his delivery, very nice and smooth. He takes away, he's not pushing off the rubber. Look at the high leg kick, separation, got the elbow going out in front. Now finished. Look at the long stride. His front toes torn towards the catcher's glove. He finished. You got to be able to finish your pitch, but he didn't like his landing spot right there. You could tell he looked at it. Finish that pitch, follow through at a nice little finish, and he's able to get some late action on his pitches.
No swing. Dan Bellino is the umpire at first. 2-1. And now 3-1 on Machado, who has walked already, and he's the number 9 hitter. Gallagher runs to the screen, but it's on the other side. 3-2. Had a play. Yeah, think about a number 9 hitter, a guy that just kind of slashed the ball to all fields, line drive hitter, but the Royals have Machado played to pull, and he pulls it into that overshift. Moustakas throws high. Cuthbert was able to keep his foot on the bag. And Junis gets the Tigers in order in the bottom of the 5th inning. So the game is official, and the Royals lead 1-0. fly. It's our Sonic Slam inning. Our contestant is Chris Miller from Garden City, Missouri. Not to be confused with Garden City, Kansas. If the Royals hit a home run out of the park in this inning, Chris will win $400. If the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park, Chris wins $25,000 from Sonic and the Royals. And I think many Royals fans, every time they think of the Sonic Slam inning, will think of Cam Gallagher. I know that Joel will.
No question about it. Maybe he can do it this inning if they bat around and get that Cam Slam. Good offseason for Cam Gallagher. He went down and played winter ball in the Dominican Republic for the first time in his career. His teammates, some of them, Raul Mondesi, or now Adalberto Mondesi, and Jorge Bonifacio. He said the only negative, he got sick down there. Didn't drink the water, might have gotten it from eating salad, he said. He was eating really healthy. The water that was used to wash it. Ended up losing 13 pounds in the hospital a couple of times. But he said he ended up still being able to play. Said it was an incredible experience. He said, Hud, that it really taught him to appreciate the game, how laid back, how much fun they have. It really reminded him of what the game was like growing up, and that's something he says he's brought into this season, 2018. Appreciate the game the way so many of those Dominicans did down in Winter League.
Oh, good for him, Joe. And nice report. That's fresh.
Nice report, Joel.
Yeah, I like that. That's fresh because, you know, not only did he try to improve his game, Cam did, but he got to see how the game's played in a different culture. It's beautiful. They got the band playing. The people really love the game there, and that's a great experience for him. And every player needs to experience that at some point in their career. Usually it's when they're young. And that's a really good league, too. You can improve yourself. Sorry about the hardship with the illness, though. We can do without that. Now, for me, it was Puerto Rico. And that was a great experience because I talked the general manager into paying for Jennifer and I's honeymoon. We had just got married. They wanted me to come play for the San Juan Metros. And I said, hey, I'll be happy to, but I'm getting married. And I don't know if I can make it. And he goes, well, how about you come to Dorado Beach? And I said, hey, look, that sounds good. Let's do it. So we had a blast. And it was a good experience. It was fun. Hey, I just thought I'd throw that in there.
Okay.
Oh,
John Jay, he takes advantage of some room in between the third baseman Candelario and the bag. He is 1 for 3 and on with 1 out.
this is exactly what you want. Take the high fastball, keep your hands inside, shoot a bullet to left. Excellent swing. Look at that. Level swing. Look at the head position. Never moved. Love that. When the head doesn't move, the ball doesn't either. It stays right there for you. Now, there was no launch angle on that swing. That's okay. Young players need to get launch angle out of their head. That's the young players. If they see what's going on here in the big leagues, they all are swinging for the fences. That's not how you hit. You see that up here. These guys are phenomenal at what they do. They can get away with that. Not young players. Keep your swing level, just like that John Jay stroke right there. Get on base. Hit a line drive up the middle or to left field. That was textbook.
That'll be out of play. Witt is lined to right and flied out to center field. Boyd, Matthew Boyd, had set down 13 of 14 Royals going back to the second inning when John Jay singled. The only run so far today was a Jorge Soler sacrifice fly in the second inning, scoring Chesler Cuthbert. The Royals have 1 run on 3 hits. The Tigers have no runs on 2 hits. Off of Boyd's glove, and Merrifield is on, and even if Boyd didn't get any glove on it, that's probably a base hit to center field. 2 on, 1 out.
I'm saying thank you. Look where the second baseman was. Now, You're right. Shortstop might have gotten it, but once that ball hit Boyd, that's a knock. Because infielders that move one direction, it's hard for them to stop and go the other direction to pick up the ball and throw you out. So maybe now the Royals are starting to get a little luck, which is what they've needed. Early on, they hit Boyd some line drives right at people. So now Moose is due here. See if he can clean the bases off. Because Junis needs a few more insurance runs. He's cruising and he's looking really good, but man, nothing's better for a starting pitcher than extra runs.
This is just the second time that the Royals have had a runner in scoring position today. The first time they got that runner home, Cuthbert. That breaking ball stood up, and Moustakas' eyes were huge, and he wasn't able to make contact. Well, he saw that pitch up and he unloaded.
No question, that's a hanger. Missed it. Whenever that release point is eye high, hitter sees it well.
Castellanos with Machado, and Castellanos makes the play in foul territory, 2 down. Create moments you will remember forever with the Royals Memories program. Download the MLB Ballpark app to choose from unique experiences that give you access to the field. Watch batting practice next to the Royals, deliver the game ball to the mound, or take in a fireworks show from the outfield grass. You can see a full list of experiences on the Ballpark app on your mobile device.
Outstanding. Those ladies look like they're having a blast.
Right behind the batting cage.
Yeah. Okay, you really want to score points with Moustakas and your manager? Pick up Moose with a base hit here and just thrill your manager with a big hit. Ah, he's got him popping up.
Iglesias makes the play, so the Royals had 2 on with 1 out. Boyd gets out of it, and it's still 1-0 Royals. Waiting on Leonis Martin, and we can tell you that you can watch every out-of-market regular season game live at home, in the office, or on the go with the MLB.TV app. Your subscription includes MLB At Bat Premium, allowing you to watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Bunted foul, and now Junis has faced 19 hitters, and he's thrown strike 1 to 14 of the 19.
Yep, he's working ahead, no question. And that's one of the keys why that pitch counts where it is, 68. 6th inning. Outstanding.
Martin has struck out twice. Both times swinging. One on a fastball, one on a slider. Junis has struck out 5. And he got a pop up. And that was not routine for Escobar because he was over on the right side on the overshift. Martinez out nonetheless. So 1 out as he begins his 3rd time through. And last year that really didn't affect him too much. There was a bit of a spike from the 1st time to the 2nd time through, but while a lot of young pitchers start to get lit up 3rd time through the order, Junis did not.
No, Junis is really on his mark today. Picking up right where he left off last season. And that's a great thing for the Royals. Got to get in the win column in the worst way. Now the offense, they've been okay. They've just missed some pitches. Boyd's got them popping up now. And if Junis had a few more runs, he'd be in the driver's seat. Always a nail biter when there's just a 1-run lead.
Strikeout number 6. Down goes Candelario, 2 down.
There it was. Now you see it, now you don't. It's a disappearing slider.
Five of the 6 have been swinging.
And the one looking was off this guy right here. And look at that. First pitch out. He'll take it. Get him some more runs.
We played 6. The Royals lead 1-0. So you would think the advantage would go to the pitchers today, and so far it has. Jacob Junis has pitched 6 scoreless innings. Matthew Boyd pitched 6 and allowed 1. He is now out of the game. So a total of 1 run in 12 half innings and just 6 hits. So there's Matthew Boyd in the Tiger dugout. And Alex Wilson will pitch for Detroit. 66 games last year. He has pitched in 1 game this year, and he gave up 3 runs in 3 2/3 innings. He is our Chevy call to the bullpen, and the Royals will send up Paulo Orlando, Jorge Soler, and Alex Gordon.
I'll tell you, 9 outs that Boyd got were all pop-ups. This guy here, I don't know if they'll be popping him up or not, but Alex Wilson's a sinker baller. Sinker, slider, changeup. And you see the numbers there. He's a pretty reliable pitcher. He's a back-end guy. He was last season, but with Gardenhire as the new skipper here, you never know where he'll use him, but typically towards the end like he is now right now. He's a 7-8 type of reliever. Throws strikes, 2 really good pitches, a sinker slider.
Chopped out to short. Iglesias gets a nice big hop and throws out Paulo. Paulo is 0 for 3. Jorge Soler has the only RBI today. Back in the second inning, Chesler Cuthbert doubled. Paulo Orlando got him over to third, and Jorge Soler got him home, and that's it. 1-0 Royals in the top of the 7th.
Yeah, it was the get him on Doinker, get him over, sac fly, and then sac fly to get him in. And Soler, now against Alex Wilson, just like Paulo, he hit a ground ball. You got to see him up, look him up in the zone, and probably let the ball travel and think right field. Because if you pull a sinker, you're going to hit a grounder.
Jorge did not agree with Phil Cuzzy's call. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Soler can go deep to any part of any field.
One and 2.
There's some 87 paint right there. They call that on the black. Painted the black. There's a black strip around the plate that's buried. You can't see it, but that's what they say.
Two and 2. Out to Iglesias. 2 outs. Don't forget, if you can't catch a game on TV, you can stream games live on your mobile device. Download the Fox Sports Go app, log in, and stream the Royals. It's presented by T-Mobile.
Now, you know, nowadays they make gloves that you can keep on your hands, and they have, you know, clear tip at the finger that you can stream, and you can text and use your mobile device with your gloves on. New technology. Aren't you glad I told you that?
What?
Yeah, we saw one gentleman in the stands had his glove off, but he didn't have the new the new gloves that have the technology where you can, you know, it's clear enough on your finger where you can go ahead and do your thing.
I'm more confused than I was when you tried to describe it the first time. Are you saying that you can wear gloves now that will still allow you to
text the
maneuver the touch screen?
Yeah, you have to, you know, it responds to touch, but with the glove on, and if you have something like that, usually it won't work.
Right.
So technology has put a spot on the finger that will allow you to do that, and she doesn't have that either, that glove. If she did, she could keep her hand warm, and she could do her business with a glove on. Oh man, look at that. See, that's why the net's there.
I thought you were talking about you could stream the games from a glove.
No, because, you know, when you...
Which you will be able to do someday, I'm
right,
sure.
but when you stream, you don't have to touch the phone. You can just look. Look at Wilson coming in, man. He's tough.
career highs last year. In addition to batting average, home runs, RBIs, and triples, also games, runs scored, hits. And he is the subject of our sprint trivia question. Name the last American League player with 10 or more triples, 25 or more home runs, and 100 or more RBIs. That's what Castellano did last year. So prior to his 2017 season, what American League player had 10 or more triples, 25 or more home runs, and 100 or more RBIs? One ball, one strike. My first instinct is to say Mike Trout, although he doesn't hit in a very triple friendly ballpark. And I'm not surprised that that is not the answer. It is not. Escobar throws out Castellanos. And there's one down in the 7th inning. Too soon for it to be Mike Trout. It's probably somebody in 1968 or something like that.
Well, if we get a help, we get some. Oh, 2011.
Right, 2011. I was wrong, so it is more recent.
You're going to have to carry this one. I was coaching my son's little league team then. I missed that season.
Victor Martinez has singled to center and lined to left. And Jacob Junis is trying to complete 7 innings for the 3rd time in his big league career. He did it twice last year. He had a 7-inning start against the Padres, and he had an 8-inning start against the Mariners. And in the one against Seattle, that was the first major league start for Cam Gallagher, who's behind the plate again today.
These two guys work well together. But I can tell you that Cam Gallagher, you know, is thrilled for this opportunity to start, but when he's catching his buddy, that's even more comfortable for him. The importance is Junis coming off of a 7-pitch inning, his last inning. When you develop a reputation in the opposing dugout of throwing strikes, the guys are saying, hey, look, it's cold today. We're going to, I'm swinging early. And look at that. Look at, he's had 2 7-inning pitch counts. It's pretty awesome.
Only one so-called long inning would be a 23-pitch 3rd inning. Not today. Paulo Orlando takes care of Victor Martinez, and there are 2 outs. Let's see. 25 or more home runs, 10 or more triples, 100 or more RBIs. 2011. James McCann has fouled out, and he is lined into a double play, which was easily the Royals' best defensive play today. A line drive that was caught on a dive by Merrifield, and then he threw back to first to double up Castellanos. One and one. Moustakas backhands behind the bag, on the money to Cuthbert, and that is 7 scoreless innings for Jacob Junis. is brought to you by Ford. Going further so you can. The Fox Theater right down the street from Comerica Park. Here's our Kubota power stats. Alcides Escobar, even though it was a mostly disappointing year for him offensively last year, he did set a Royals record for doubles by a shortstop. 2 more than he had in 2014, and 1 more than Kurt Stillwell in 1990.
Esky's a doubles machine. Let's hope we see it this year. He'll be a big table setter down towards the bottom of the order. But he's been spending a lot of time before he goes to the plate right near the heater in the Royals dugout. There's a heater that shoots a flame out that is, you know how the double play is a pitcher's best friend? That heater in there this time of year, that's a hitter's best friend. So you spend time there with your gloves and your wood. You keep your bat there, because in the pine tar, you put that on the label and it gets sticky. If you don't, it's cold, there's no stick. So the heat, like I said, baseball's a warm weather sport. The heat makes your bat come alive, just like your hands. Got to have a little blood flow in there.
That security guard down there in the Royals dugout is enjoying the heat as well.
Well, he is, but you notice he's keeping himself busy and warm by eating those sunflower seeds.
Does that help keep you warm too, eating sunflower seeds?
With confidence.
Okay. Wilson strikes out his second. Escobar is 1 for 3.
Wilson, I told you he's reliable. Look at him, just painting the corners, coming in, doing his job. He's a solid reliever. Gardenhire asking him to just hold it right there. Don't let him score any more runs. Junis begging for a little extra help. Give him some breathing room.
Cam is flied to center, and he is flied out to right. There's Martin for out number 2.
There's Jake Junis. You know, his pitch count is in really good shape. And Ned's got some action up in the bullpen. You just wonder if he's going to allow him to go back out. You would think so.
John Jay is coming up, and Ron Gardenhire is going to go to his bullpen. Daniel Stumpf will be a Chevy call to the bullpen. 10 or more triples, 25 or more home runs, and 100 or more RBIs. Who in the American League had done that most previously before Castellanos?
How about the Grandy man, Curtis Granderson?
Nice. You're on fire. The trivia questions.
Come on with it. It helps the hints. The hints that they're giving us from the truck really do help us. But today, we were getting desperate. I thought it was Warren Cromartie, but they said, no, HUD.
One of these days, Warren Cromartie will be the answer to a trivia question.
Really?
Yeah.
I hope so.
Daniel Stumpf got 2 outs in the game yesterday. And one of those outs was John Jay. In fact, he came on to face John Jay. 2 balls and no strikes. John is 1 out of 3 today with a single to left field.
Stumpf is tough. Walking through the Tiger locker room today, he stuck his head out and said hi. And I said, man, you know what? You look tougher than you did last year. He's closed off, so he's tough to pick up. And I said, you know what? What's different? He goes, I'm concentrating on filling up the strike zone. I want to get in and out of there as quickly as possible. And that's the whole idea. Pitchers come in and throw strikes out of the pen. That's what they want you to do. It doesn't always happen. But when you're a reliever, you've got to do that. And you up your status with your manager when you do that. He's tough. He's got mid-90s, low to mid-90s fastball. He's got a cutter, slider, and a changeup to righties.
And John Jay works a walk.
Two-out walk. That's not what Gardenhire brought him in for. So let's see if Whitley can make him pay here. An extra base hit could score Jay from first.
Down around the end of the bat, I think Witt got the pitch he wanted, the swing he wanted, but just didn't get it off the fat part of the bat. And our Pizza Ranch pitcher's line, he has given up 2 hits in 7 innings with 1 walk and 6 strikeouts. He has set down the last 10 Tigers hitters. And he has yet to throw 85 pitches. This will be pitch number 85. And it's upstairs to Mikey Matuk. The last time the Tigers had a hit was in the 3rd inning.
The weather hasn't gotten over 40 degrees. Okay, it could be 95 degrees or 90 degrees here, and the same results would happen because he's hitting his spots. It's not cold weather. You can't blame it on the cold. Junis is hitting. He is hitting his spots exactly, executing what he wants to do. That's called effectively throwing strikes out of the strike zone.
Bloop to center. And Matuk is on to begin the bottom of the 8th. And Ned Yost is doing what a lot of managers would do. I'm sure he's thinking to himself, Junis has plenty left in the tank. But many managers will subscribe to the theory that if a pitcher has pitched this well late into the game and the go-ahead run comes to the plate, he does not want that pitcher to be in position to lose the game. He may give Junis the option to stay in, or maybe not.
Yeah, and you know, that's good. You know, he wants to take care of his guys, and he should, especially after that outing. Come on, pin to win.
Giving up just 3 hits in 7+ innings. The Royals lead 1-0. Junis just gave up a bloop single to center field. And Ned Yost turns the game over to the bullpen, and it's Justin Grimm with number 8 hitter Jose Iglesias coming up. Grimm has pitched in 2 games for the Royals, and he's given up 1 run in an inning and a third.
Okay, now, want to get it directly at the hitters. Matuk, he can run. Don't worry about the runner. Strike 1. Fastball, big curve.
Matuk runs, and the Tigers tried a hit and run, but Iglesias hits it in the air. 1 out.
Oh, you know what? Now, Matuk did a great job of, on a hit and run, the base stealer takes off, but he peeks in. You take a peek in to see. Now, the infielders, you see Merrifield and Escobar tried to trick him. For a base runner that doesn't look in, he doesn't see the ball is in the air. They can trick him, and they can hold him at second base and time to double him up at first, but it didn't work. Matuk looked in.
One out to Dixon Machado. Machado walked against Junis in the third, and that was Jacobs' only walk in 7+ innings. He is also grounded out to third. And Matuk runs again, and it's hit on the ground to Escobar. The play is to first. So the Royals get an out, and the Tigers get a runner in scoring position for just the second time all day. And now Leonis Martin. He was 0 for 3 against Junis with 2 strikeouts and a pop out.
Okay, this particular time of the day, the wind's picked up a little bit, blowing straight in from left field. So you can play shallow and left. Alex has a great throwing arm here. With 2 outs, a little base hit, it's going to be a tester at the plate. Whew. Now Grimm knew where Escobar was playing, but he just kind of goosed the throw and almost threw it away. But you don't want to play extremely deep. Paulo's fairly shallow in center. They're playing him to pull. Left side is wide open on the ground. I think Grimm wanted to let Matuk know, hey, look, you know what, we're going to keep you close.
Curveball is fouled away.
Last year, Alex Gordon had 8 outfield assists. Paulo just had 1, but he's accurate and has a slightly above average arm. Soler had 1, but they weren't with the big club very much last year. Soler has a pretty good throwing arm.
1-1.
Martin needs a little bit of stick 'em. And the spray actually works better in this cold than anything else, because the pine tar, it's not warm enough for it to do any good. And the Moda stick it's a hard rosin type thing, so it doesn't work when it's cold. It's like an ice cube. Doesn't do any good. So they've come up with a spray.
One ball, 1 strike on Martin. Into left field, Alex Gordon is there. So the Tigers get their leadoff man on, but Grimm gets the job done, getting Iglesias, Machado, and Martin. It's still 1-0 Royals to the 9th.
A great pickup at the end of the spring training for the Royals. Can he do it? Look at the pitch sequence. He's up and down all around. That's where you want to do. Stay out of there, pop him up, and get the job done. Ned Yost looking for somebody in the pen to step up. There's hugs for Junis. He was fantastic today. Pin to win. 3 more outs. Junis, rock star.
The Royals will have Moustakas, Cuthbert, and Orlando in the 9th inning. Daniel Stump stays on to face Moustakas. The Tigers have a right-hander warming up in the bullpen, and the Royals have 3 right-hand batters coming up after Moustakas. 1 ball and 1 strike. Moustakas has grounded out and fouled out twice. Back through the middle, and the Royals have their leadoff man on. And that is just the 2nd time all game the Royals have had their leadoff man on.
Fastball, right up, belt high. Gardenhire didn't want to see Stump the lefty, let Moose, the left-handed batter, hit his way on. It happens, though. Pitch right up in the zone.
Drew Verhagen will come on to face Cheslor Cuthbert. Today's copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Kansas City Royals. They may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals. Brian Lefevre with Rex Hudler, along with Joel Goldberg and Jeff Montgomery. Our director, Steve Kurtenbach. Our producer, Kevin Cedergren. Associate producers, Al Broughton, Sam Abramson, Dave Holtzman. And the producer of Royals Live is Casey Carter.
They're all all-star teammates. By the way, we got to have them.
Drew Verhagen. He'll get Cuthbert with Moustakas over at first base and nobody out.
Hey, let's see what they can muster. Anything together would be great. Next inning, they'll have the meat of their order. The Tigers coming up, and they have teeth. It's not going to be easy. Cuthbert looking comfortable. Has a little bit of rock in his legs, back and forth. Trying to get some rhythm up there on a cold day, facing a guy 6'6", 235 pounds. He's 90 to 96 mile an hour with his fastball, curveball, changeup. He throws hard. pick out a certain spot. See how he's moving back and forth like that? Rhythm, you got to have it.
And that's grounded in a diving stop by Iglesias, and the Tigers turn that into a huge double play.
You can't hit a ball any harder. 2-hopper, 3 hops. It came up even for him. Nice little backhand flip over there, Iglesias. He's got soft hands. Man, look at that play. That's a beauty. That's a big league play right there. Nice feed. Machado takes it over there and throws it, and he's out. Hey, a little bit of tough luck today, but I tell you, they can get some good closing from Herrera. They can get in the win column. It's all that matters.
And with the way the Tigers were positioned in the outfield, even with Moustakas running, you're looking at first and third and nobody out.
Exactly. That's a heck of a play by Iglesias.
So Paula will try and get on and give Soler a chance to drive in 2 with 1 swing, but he's down, no balls and 2 strikes. Paulo has flied to center. He has popped to short and grounded out to short. The Tigers in the bottom of the 9th will have Candelario, Cabrera, and Castellanos. They're 2, 3, and 4 hitters. Up into the clouds. And that's the inning. Leadoff man on. A huge double play started by Iglesias. And the Royals bat just 3. Kelvin Herrera goes for his first save of 2018.
Wanting to hang on for that win. Coming up on Boulevard Royals Live, Joel Goldberg and Jeff Montgomery will break it all down. A Junis gem, first scoreless start of his major league career. Plus, can they hang on for that first W? We'll have that, reaction, analysis, and much more coming up on Boulevard Royals Live. Guys.
Thank you, Joel. And here is Kelvin Herrera, who got an inning in yesterday in the Royals' loss, and he struck out the side. One of those strikeouts was against Jeimer Candelario, who leads off and takes outside for ball 1. Candelario, then Cabrera, and then Castellanos. Jacob Junis went 7. Justin Grimm went 1.
Okay. Huge part of the game, and everybody knows it. Fastball, slider, changeup, but in the order more like fastball, changeup. Slider's his 3rd pitch. This game, we witnessed the offense of the Royals and the importance of get them on, get them over, get them in. 1-0. Now the pin to win, hold them.
Herrera's just coming right at Candelario with fastballs. He ended up striking him out yesterday with a changeup, so you know that's in the back of Candelario's mind. He knows Herrera throws hard, but he's also thinking, man, I don't want to be out in front.
Keep the changeup away and off the outside part of the plate if you throw it.
Fastball at 97, so he stayed with the heat, and there's one down.
I like that pitch because look, at 97 to 100, it's hard to square up a fastball on a cold, rainy day like today. Look at the movement there. That heater had some hair on it. That's what hitters tell you when they get back to the dugout. You go, how's the fastball? Ooh, man, it was tough. It had some teeth and it had little hair. Like that one. Running in on your hands like that, that's a jam shot waiting to happen. You use the term teeth. That's what that feels like, you're getting bit. Now, Cabrera wanted no part of that fastball a foot inside.
And didn't have a very good pitch at that breaking ball. And he's had a tough time against Kelvin Herrera. I can remember, I think it was 2 years ago, late in the game, and these two had a long battle. And Herrera ended up striking him out. I remember Cabrera tipped his helmet to Herrera in respect. Line to right field and caught. And the Royals have been lining out quite a bit today, and now the tables are turned, and Cabrera, knowing that he can't hit it any harder, and Jorge Soler was right there waiting for it.
Whoo, man, he gets underneath that a quarter of an inch. It's a tie game. That ball was lasered out there.
Even Soler is going, wow.
That's what I'm saying.
How do you hit a ball? Now you can hit a ball that hard, and you can hit a ball that far, but it's very hard to hit it as low as it was. I mean, that was just a line drive that carried all the way out almost to the warning track.
I would love to see some hit speed on that baby. That thing was off his bat. How about 111 miles an hour off your bat? Yeah, and that he caught it in his palm, Soler did, probably saying, ouch, that hurt. Now, an infielder would tell you that, but not an outfielder.
And now Castellanos, so the inning isn't over. Still another dangerous hitter at the plate. Castellanos is 0 for 3 today. And now the Tigers are down to their last strike. Opposite of Cabrera, Castellanos has done well against Kelvin Herrera in the past. He is 5 out of 10 with a couple of doubles. Good location, and Castellanos thought about it. 1-2.
Love how Herrera's just rearing back and saying, here it is. Now he got a little bit lucky throwing that ball to that guy right there, Cabrera. And Cabrera just used his hands.
Struck him out.
Right.
And the Royals get their first win of 2018. A 3-pitcher, 1-0 shutout.
El Toro!
Ole!
In the win column. Yes, wasn't easy, never is, especially here at Comerica Park, facing the top of the order to get the last 3 outs. Herrera did a nice job. How about Jake Junis? What a clinic he put on today, a pitching clinic. How to throw strikes, how to get him out of there. And that offense, hey, look, get him on, get him over, get him in. That was a beautiful thing. That's all it took today.
And it took just